Well, here we are back in the Peace Garden on June 27th, and you'll see there our lettuce are nicely formed and forming heads, ready to eat. Our broccoli is at about 2.5 inches now, so these plants, they're looking very, very nice. We have a couple of peppers and eggplants here at the end. We'll move out. The rose bushes smell so nice right now. Then in this greenhouse we have very large tomato plants. Our eggplants here, it's a beautiful eggplant. They're just starting to get buds. Then we're getting peppers over here. You can see that pepper there is maybe about 1.5 inches long. The pepper plants and all of that, they're all looking quite beautiful. We move through here into the main garden, and these here will be flowers. I'll be blooming in a bit. You'll see here along this row, on the row on the right, we just transplanted some lettuce in there. We harvested our spinach yesterday. And then you'll see here, those are beets, carrots, kohlrabi, and another crop of radishes. The tomato plants are all looking nice. We put cages on them since the last tour. You'll see that some of these plants have a lot of tomatoes on them. Plants aren't real big, but they're full of tomatoes. These are a small salad-sized tomato that you just slice in half or quarters and taste fantastic in a salad. I don't know who said it, but someone said that all the earth is a garden, and it's just how we look at it. And isn't that true? If you look around this garden, you'll see all the trees. But Al has a way of looking at it too, so let me just ask him what he thinks about all the earth being a garden. Al?
Well, the earth being a garden, it's really a miraculous event, and sometimes people still take credit for growing a garden, but actually God grows the garden and we're just mere helpers. So the more gardening you do, you realize that in life this is one of the precious moments and one to be cherished and thankful for.
So we are, especially at dinner time when we get to eat from this beautiful garden. Here we have our corn crop, and it's, I'm sure you've heard, knee-high by the 4th of July, and this might be knee-high to me, but for Al it's got a little ways to go, but hopefully we'll get there. And then over here we have what I call the queen flower of the garden, which is the summer squash, and those brand new buds and flowers on the squash. The Italian women say that you should stuff these with the buds, the flowers, with cream cheese, and I'm gonna have to try it because anything stuffed with cream cheese tastes good to me. Then if you go over here, step over things, we have our cucumbers, and they're coming along fine. You can see they're starting to get runners, and they'll lay down and they'll cover this entire area. Here we have our peas. They too have got their runners. We have our fence up so they can grow, and pretty soon they should start blooming. For here we have our winter squash, and for winter squash this year we're growing our delicata, which is our favorite. It's a very mild tasting squash, and the one we like the best. It keeps rather well during the winter, so works out good for us. Here we have our garlic patch again, and you can see on here, this is hardneck garlic, and it's getting scapes. So those scapes are that circular pattern you can see up there. They're tasty. You can eat those. You can saute them, or you can make a pesto out of them. And it's just another treat coming in from the garden. There, you'll see it there. Up here we have our beans, and again, they're doing okay, but not real well this year. And next to them, we have a new basil variety that we're trying this year. So hopefully that'll be tasty. Maybe some of you have tried that already. And then up there, you can see our grapevines and our guardian of the grapes. Scare the birds away so they don't eat the grapes before we harvest them. And then here we have more pepper plants. These out in the garden don't have, they're blooming, but they don't have peppers on them yet. We have our third crop of radishes planted here. So we're right now in between radish crops. Our calendula, which we use the flowers for skin lotion, are coming nice. Our celery is really starting to take off. It's looking good. Use that in soups. Over here our cabbages are. They're starting to head very nice. You see that along the row. From there, we move out to our cauliflower, which is starting to look much better. Some of these plants didn't do well. We lost a few of them to insect damage. And that's our current tour of our peace garden. Enjoy the summer, and we'll see you again in 3 weeks.